Furious crowds attacking American embassies across the Islamic world are refusing to scale down in the protests, which continue to claim lives. In Egypt, demonstrators angry over a U.S.-made film mocking Islam are in a standoff with the police for a fourth day. RT's Paul Lear is in Cairo for us. Paul, so what's the mood in the Egyptian capital this morning?
Well, the situation certainly is a lot calmer and quieter here in front of the American embassy in Cairo. The crowd has been pushed back right out of this area, although there are still a few hangers-on on Saturday morning, but certainly nothing like the scenes we were witnessing over the past few days. There is still a heavy stench, though, of tear gas in the area. If you look behind me, you will see the security barrier that the security forces built on Friday morning, and this was to try and stop protesters reaching the American embassy, which is just on the other side. I spent several hours caught up in that violence because there's simply nowhere to run to. All the shops had barricaded their windows as well as their doors. The hotels in the area had closed down. And I can tell you it's pretty frightening when you have protesters on the one side hurling these huge chunks of glass and concrete at the security forces who were firing constant rounds of tear gas. So the area here is littered with these tear gas canisters. There is broken glass everywhere and there is rubble on just about every street here. Overnight, there was also an attack by forces on an American base in the Afghanistan province of Helmand. Now, at least 2 U.S. Marines were killed when militants managed to scale the outer security perimeter. We know that this is also the base where the British Prince Harry was stationed, but that he managed to go unharmed. There have also been protests taking place as far afield as Sydney, Australia, where several hundred protesters chanted messages such as "Down, down, USA." The police in Sydney using tear gas to disperse those crowds.
Indeed, Paula. Well, as we know, the protest mood has been also escalating across the region with wider targets than just U.S. embassies now. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, certainly the demonstrations are now spreading like wildfire across North Africa and the Middle East. Of course, the anger being expressed on the streets is anger against this American-made film that mocks Prophet Muhammad. We've seen demonstrations in Bangladesh, in Malaysia, in Gaza, also in Iraq. In Sudan, at least 3 people are known to have died in demonstrations in the capital city of Khartoum. These took place when protesters tried to reach the American embassy, and to that end, the United States is sending Marines to back up security there. The German as well as the British embassies were also under attack. In Yemen, we're hearing that at least 4 people have been killed in demonstrations there. U.S. Marines have arrived in the capital city of Sana'a to try and defuse the situation, but there have been placards that people have been holding up everywhere in Sana'a saying things like, "Today is your last day, Ambassador." In Tunis, we're hearing that at least 2 people have died. This happened when crowds scaled the walls of the American embassy and managed actually to get inside the compound. They set fire on several of the trees inside the compound, and at the same time they set fire on an American school. Moving across to Lebanon, at least 1 person there has died when a food chain restaurant came under fire. Massive crowds have also been gathering, not only there in the northern Lebanese city of Tripoli, but also expressing their anger in the capital city of Beirut. At the same time, if you look at Libya, where the violence erupted back on Tuesday, the American ambassador, as well as 3 other personnel linked to the U.S. mission there, have been laid to rest. The United States, as well as the Libyan authorities, have opened an investigation there. They have made several arrests, and we're hearing from them that they believe that this has all the telltale signs of the Taliban, of Al-Qaeda, and certainly we have seen Al-Qaeda links at demonstrations elsewhere in the region. So at this moment, the mood is incredibly volatile across the region, with further demonstrations planned today, Saturday.
Indeed it is, Paul. Thanks very much for bringing us this update. Paul Lear reporting from Cairo.